Hi, my name is Andy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this video I'm going to get out the Tarot in Wonderland cards. Again, such a popular deck, this one. And I'm going to do a 5-card reading. This is a pick a card reading, and it can be about whatever you want it to be about, you know. So many of the tarot videos on YouTube here are kind of, you know, they're getting very, very specific. It's, you know, like Cancer, will he come back on a bicycle or in a car, or will he just walk, or won't he come back at all? You know, very kind of specific things, and I'm sure everybody wants to consult the cards for a different reason when they want to consult the cards. So I'm just going to pick 5 cards for you here. Now you can pick card 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. You can pick any combination, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, whatever you want to do, or you can just pick all 5 and see what happens. Okay, so I'm having a shuffle here. If you are new to the channel, by the way, hit that subscribe button, because I'm producing videos all the time. There's always something going on, and there's always something to consult the tarot about, really. So first card out today, it's the Ace of Wands. Now the Wands are all about getting things done. This is fire sign energy, so this particularly applies to Leo, Sagittarius and Aries, and I'm a Sagittarius myself, so I'm getting a free one here. So if you're one of those signs, or if one of those signs is majoring in your chart, this is worth taking notice of, even if you didn't pick it. If you're going for all 5, this is the beginning of the reading. Ace of Wands. There is a huge amount of alchemy involved with the aces. It's always, with all the 4 aces, it's a case of, you know, whatever you put in, the divine will add something to it. So we can see the wand in the foreground, where things are actually going to get done, things are actually on the move, and if you picked card number 1 in particular, then things are moving for you, and they're going to keep moving, because the candle there is absolutely blowing up with powerful, beautiful spiritual light there, and that kind of shows that the old as above, so below thing is working, and whatever you're doing in this world is actually being kind of compounded and worked with up in the heavens there. Now it's quite a barren scene in this card, isn't it? Now it reminds me a bit of the surface of Mars, actually, when I look at this card. But the point of that is, you know, Mars is only like that because millions of years ago it was fertile, and in time to come maybe it'll be green again, who knows. But certainly in our world, when we get to, like, it's winter in the northern hemisphere now, God, just the end of autumn, beginning of winter, because we just had Samhain, Halloween last weekend, and there is a card reading up there, by the way. Do go and have a look on my channel for all the recent videos. So we're sort of in between things, and the only reason all the leaves fall off the trees is because they're going to grow back again, you know. All the grass kind of dies out and things change, you know, but they're going to change back. That is the whole point. So the energy of this card is that good things are coming in again. Good things are going to be happening again. No two ways about it. And as I look at the back of the card, there seem to be 2 eyes looking out from the bleak wilderness of Mars, or wherever this is, and no matter how kind of bleak life might seem to get, there is always a higher energy overseeing things. Okay, so this card is about getting things done, and because of those eyes, because of the beautiful flames coming out of the candle there, and because of everything else about this card, things are on the move. And even if you think that there's no chance of anything changing, there really is. Okay, I did the reading the other day about the presidential election, and now actually I think it was last weekend, and still nothing much seems to have changed, you know. I guess people have cast their votes, but they're still being counted, and they're still being hotly contested. Nevertheless, although it feels like things are going nowhere, every minute we're actually getting closer to knowing who the next president is going to be, and every minute of life we're getting closer to just, you know, well, not closer really, but further along our path, and because of that, closer to whatever we're trying to achieve, and closer to whatever outcome is going to happen. Now I'm going to try and get a bit closer to the outcome now by moving on swiftly but surely to card number 2. And I love this Tarot in Wonderland deck, by the way. This is the book that goes with it. It kind of got a mixed response, really. A lot of people who just kind of, you know, open and just kind of looking for what is the best thing out there in tarot, we're drawn to this one, and it's sold out lots of times. A very good friend of mine tried to get a copy, and it took her months and months to get it. I was very lucky. Mine just appeared from Amazon very quickly within about 3 days of me ordering it, which is quick for Amazon actually. So if you don't use Prime, which I don't, and it just turned up, so I guess I was meant to have it. It is a bit kind of fantastical. It is a fair bit out there, really, in the way it does things. But all the meanings of the tarot are there, and it's expressed really well, So let's turn one over here and see what we've got this time. Whoa, number 15, the Devil. And this plays into the last one big style, because the last one was all about really either starting to get things done or starting a new leg of getting things done, and the guarantee that things are actually going to get done, because everywhere in the universe is feeding into that Ace of Wands. This is a little bit different, but it's kind of pointing to the same thing. It's pointing the same way. It's number 15 in the major arcana, so it's a bit over halfway through. It comes just after the 2 cards after the Death card, I suppose, and just before the Tower of Destruction. So things are moving, things are happening, and there is no guarantee of a really good outcome at this point. Not a good outcome. There'll always be a good outcome if you visualize and believe it. That's a very true thing, actually. So keep hoping for the best, whatever you're doing. But there's no guarantee of a quick outcome, I suppose, when we look at this one. But the clock is essentially ticking. I mean, because it's a static picture of a card, the clock in this card is always pointing to, is that 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? Who knows? But the point is, time is always ticking, and we do actually have to do something to get on the journey, to get things moving. Okay, so if you picked card number 2 in particular, then that's the message for you, different to the last card. You're really going to have to kind of do something off your own bat. And when I'm sure you actually do something yourself with your own energy, then the energy is always matched by the universe. It's the old visualize and believe thing. It gets nowhere unless you actually put some effort into it. And that can be kind of actively doing something, or it can be a kind of active waiting, where you just kind of do all the meditation you can, do all the manifestation you can. Only you know, right? It's different strokes for different folks with the tarot every single time. So whatever happens, if you want something that seems really unlikely and you feel like the world isn't really aligned with what you want to do at the moment, then you might want to do some meditational practice and just kind of close your eyes and visualize that it's really going to happen. Maybe burn some incense, maybe something like that. But the point is, make something happen. Okay, because when the Devil comes in, it's not like the man with the horns and the pitchfork and the goat's feet exactly. This card, it got its meaning in medieval times, about maybe 500 years ago, in the 15th, 16th century, when the tarot first came into being and started getting closer to what it is today. The Devil is just, people saw things as either God or the Devil in those days. And so the Devil is just anything kind of negative, which you want to get away from, basically. The Mad Hatter and the Mad March Hare are stuck here at the table together. They're both as nuts as each other. That's always the case in the Wonderland story, actually. And there's a decision to make, there's a choice to make because of that. It looks like they've had a good feast. It looks like they've drank all the tea out of that rather strange looking teapot, and it is time for them to get on the move and start making things happen. So if you pick that card, that's the message for you. If you pick both of these cards, or if you're picking all 5, which to be quite honest makes a better reading of it if you ask me, then we've got the Ace of Wands telling you that things are ready to happen, that the flow is ready to re-establish itself if only you will go along with it. And then card number 2, the Devil. Major arcana, very, very close to the heart. And, the fact is you'll actually better do something. So we've got 2 cards of impetus in the beginning of the reading. Next card is going to be the heart of the matter, card number 3. And I'm having a especially good shuffle. I always do, I shuffle these things as much as I can, because we want to get the truth out of here somehow. And what have we got? It's the Page of Swords. Okay, something kind of indecisive about the pages, but that's only the way other people see the pages. if you're someone who kind of I suppose if you're not a charismatic kind of person, I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. If you just kind of like to quietly get on with life, people are never really going to understand or appreciate the full value of what you can do and everything you've got going for you. And even if you do go out there and embrace things, we're a judgmental lot, the human race, unfortunately. And some people are bound to think, oh, that person doesn't know what they're doing, sod that, I'm not going to bother with it. But we've got the Page of Swords holding up a sword here, and it is very, very sort of powerful energy. It reminds me a lot of the Ace of Swords, actually, and that's how much power the pages can have. But it's a maybe, you know, and they have more power the more you actually put into a thing. So this is kind of an incomplete situation, I suppose, but the page here is holding a scroll as well as a sword. So there are instructions. Someone is going to come into your life and point you in the right direction somehow. Because even if you might not know where you're going, and this is air sign energy, by the way, so it shows things are kind of blowing in the wind. It's, what is it, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius are the air signs, so it's those energies either with you as your sun sign or somewhere in your birth chart. Those energies are kind of, they're directing you to try and go forward at least a little bit. And it's when you start making moves that you start drawing in the help. You know, the energy of the moment is such that whether you're asking the angels or you're just trying to make something happen in the world, as you start getting a move on, then some kind of energy comes in to help. And it's not like a king figure when we get the Page of Swords. It's quite a young person. It's quite an inexperienced person. That could be you, my friends. Because, you know, we can have a lot of experience of life and still not be entirely sure of what we're doing in the short term. But someone's going to come around you and someone is going to somehow have the answers. They're well hidden in this scroll, which is quite tightly rolled up there. Very well hidden, you might say, but the answers really are there. Okay, so give as much as you can to this page. Give as much as you can to your journey. This is card 3. If you picked all 5, this, my friends, is the heart of the matter, and this is what really kind of matters. I said to Damaris, hi Damaris, if you're watching, I said to Damaris the other, because she said I picked all 5, and to be honest, you know, I think everyone's their own psychic in so many ways. If you kind of want to pick a card or just pick 1, 2, 3, or maybe even 4 of the cards and not all 5, that's entirely up to you. You know, your energy will point the way and lead the way somehow. You've got to listen to your inner voice, really. So nothing wrong with picking a card. And that's one of the reasons I offer pick a card in these readings. The other one is it gets more views, you know, and I make no apologies for that. Somehow I've got to get the message out there. I've been reading the cards for 33 years now as a magical number for you. It's going to change pretty soon when we get into next year and it's 34 years. But it's kind of a very magical point in my reading career at the moment, and things have been taking off. So I make no apologies for, you know, trying to get the word out there, because that's what I'm all about. And that's what the tarot is all about, really, bringing the truth out and making it real. So if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button already and do some typing in the comments below as well. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know where you're going on your journey. It's always good to share the journey, and we're all on different journeys in a way, but they're all part of the same journey, and the journey is strongly indicated in these cards here. We live in strange times where it's very difficult to get anything done the way we used to get things done, but if we start looking for new answers and new ways ahead, the sky's the limit, really. We can do all kinds of things, because life happens so much quicker on the internet, does it not, my friends? Right, let's turn over card number 4 and see exactly where we're going with this reading here. 7 of Pentacles. Right, this, excuse me, this card is kind of much of a muchness, really. You could almost say much ado about nothing. The tree needs to grow, okay, but it's not restricted into a plant pot. It's got a very weedy kind of a stem, as if it's been grown in a plant pot and it's just been planted in the earth. And what happens when we do that to a plant? I don't know if you've done any gardening, friends, but I do all the time. I grow my own vegetables and stuff, and that, I think that grows me a bit as well, just in terms of being, you know, a healthier sort of person, if you will. I've lived with a heart condition for 30 years, and I put it down to growing my own vegetables. Not everyone can. But anyway, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, and wherever this journey is actually taking you, and we really are on a journey here, friends. Look at this tree trunk. It needs to kind of expand, and now it's in the soil. It will do, because when you grow something in a pot and then plant it in the earth, the roots like that open ground kind of feeling, you know, and they just expand. And even though the tree is actually looking very good here, covered in flowers, and, you know, pentacle energy as well, it's got, you know, this is all, you could really say the tree is covered in pentacles. It's earthy, it's Taurus, it's Virgo, and it's Capricorn energy. It's about getting grounded, surely it is, and that has got to be the main message here. But things are going pretty well. That's the other message about this card number 4. So if you actually get, you know, listen to the other 3 cards and really get stuck into your journey and do what you can to kind of encourage the page along, and, you know, listen to what the page is saying, even though the page may not seem like the ultimate authority to you, then you're going to reach this point, and this is very good. This is your plants coming out of a restrictive plant pot and actually growing in the ground. When we talk about grounding and we talk about protection in any kind of spiritual practice, a lot of people wonder, well, why would you ground yourself? You know, you won't be able to fly to the higher chakras. You won't be able to kind of negotiate with the higher realms if you're too grounded. Well, that's not so. There's a lot of protection involved in it. There certainly is. But every one of us has got an angel or a group of angels that looks after us. And we can all call on all the angels, by the way, if we're headed in the right direction for the right reasons. And that's really about being open-hearted about things. You know, that's when the angels will help you. And the angels, for your own protection, will not let you fly too high unless you actually do something to ground yourself. It is really important. As a spiritualist medium, when we're not locked down, which we have been for a long time now, actually, in this part of the world, which is Wales, United Kingdom, I would go out to spiritualist churches. Last time I did it was February, so it's a long time now. And there's a thing with spiritualist mediums, when we're going to take a service, we don't eat too much because that's going to be kind of too grounding. But we always have to eat something afterwards. It's really, you know, not least because we're hungry, but spiritually because we actually do need to be grounded. You know, everybody does, no matter how strong you might feel and no matter how powerful life's journey is, as it kind of carries you forward and as you go on with things. So the question at this point is, what's going to be card number 5? Eh? That's what we've got to find out, and I just dropped them all over the place, but I've got them again. Tarot in Wonderland here. Let's have a look at the back of these cards, by the way, because I want to recommend this deck. You know, if you're a tarot person and you collect decks and you haven't got this deck yet, it's a really good one to get. It's called Tarot in Wonderland. For some reason, the book says Wonderland in Tarot, but that's books for you. It's a very good guidebook, actually. Has a lot to say. And so, right, I'm going to just cut the deck here. I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to pull one right out of the middle, shuffle a bit more, and then take whatever comes out at the end. And it's another ace. This is great, actually, because we started the reading with an ace and we're ending the reading with an ace, which is great stuff. This is the Ace of Cups. So longings, your heart's desire, all the kind of things you want to bring into being. It's water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Right now, all of those 3 signs have kind of got something about them that's not that easy to deal with, and they maybe aren't the easiest signs to live with, actually. But that's because things are always kind of fluid, you know. On the Cancer side of things, you find very compassionate people who kind of get crabby, and I've got a friend who's a Cancer, and she's often got right on my nerves by trying to kind of hold me back and stop me doing things which I wanted to do. But it's always been out of compassion, you know, and a bit like the Fool card at the beginning of the Major Arcana. She's like that kind of dog that's going to bite the fool in the traditional image, just to remind the fool that there are hidden dangers and that the fool doesn't know anything. That's, you know, that's where the crabbiness of Cancer comes from. Scorpio, well, they tend to see the world in black and white, but sometimes you need to do that, you know. Sometimes things are really clear cut, and sometimes sometimes things aren't clear cut at all, and then you need to get some kind of decision out. You need to get some kind of answer out. So, you know, that's Scorpio. And then Pisces, wonderful, helpful people. And it's my absolute delight, friends, that in this life I tend to draw a lot of Pisces people around me. A lot of my friends, my closest friends, are Pisces. And it's wonderful energy. This started about maybe 30 years ago when I hadn't been reading the cards very long. And I had a massive stroke, and I just couldn't do anything for years, or I couldn't do much anyway for years and years. And I would have got nowhere without the help of certain Pisces people, some in particular. But generally speaking, just a lot of Pisceans that I've met who've helped me because they've got that compassion. The other side of it, water sign thing, they can get a bit overbearing, you know. The weight of water is really, really very strong. Like we've got the waterfall here, massive amount of force that we can see as it's splashing down into the lake in the background. And that's just because water is really heavy and it always goes straight for whatever, you know, it tries to find the lowest point and it goes straight there, straight from A to B. There's no meandering. So there you have the Scorpio side of things, I suppose. So no compromises here really with the Ace of Cups. Okay, we started off with the Ace of Wands and we had to get something done. This is about it really turning up and really, really getting done. There's a cup of tea in this card as well, floating in the middle, and I'm looking forward to my cup of tea quite soon. My voice is starting to dry up a bit now, so we'll get there soon. But there's the 5 cards, okay? Ace of Wands we started with. Then we had number 15 from the Major Arcana, the Devil, which is kind of midway through life's journey and time to really start kicking and getting things done again. In numerology, you've got the 10 of completion and another 5 to bring it to 15, which is kind of halfway to 20, the second level of completion. And you never get beyond that point unless you do something to make a move. That is so the case. We've got the Page of the Page of Swords here, looking very much like the Ace of Swords, and since we begin and end this reading with an ace, that is very significant that it looks like the Ace of Swords in the middle. And that's what can happen. You can have all that powerful Ace of Swords energy if you actually engage with the page. It rhymes, and so it should, because it makes sense in reality as well. 7 of Pentacles. Get yourselves grounded. Things are going quite well when we get this card, no doubt about it. But the raven is up on the tree there, and the raven is all kind of, you know, life and death. And you never know what could happen along the way. So make sure you get your roots down into the ground. Let that tree trunk swell and expand, and really you'll be able to put your branches out. And then finishing here with the Ace of Cups. Not quite finishing, actually, because I'm going to put those to one side and I'm going to draw a chakra card. I've got this chakra deck. I absolutely love it. I've been doing many readings with this for people all over the internet. And by the way, follow me on social media. The links are down there. Facebook, Instagram. I post everything onto Reddit, but I'm most active on Instagram and Facebook. And that's where I do a lot of readings with this deck, Rachel Sharman's chakra reading decks. I hope that's come out the right way around. Sometimes we get mirror writing, don't we, on the internet. I'm just going to pick one chakra card now. And this basically is just for you, whoever you are. If you're watching this video, you will have been drawn to it for a reason, okay? Somehow in the divine realms, in the higher realms, something links in to the higher self, the crown chakra as well, everything like that. And it directs us to kind of meet each other. And whatever brought you to this channel in the first place, it's something like that. It's your spirit guides and my spirit guides getting together. So if you're watching this video, this chakra card is going to be for you. And what have I got? Here we go. Right, okay. Number 12, it's relationships. Now we've got the red here of the, well, it's kind of orangey red of the sacral chakra. It's not the deep red of the root chakra. And look at the trees kind of coming together and kissing. Now maybe if that reading for you was all about a relationship, this is looking very, very good because it says that relationship is totally natural and it just will happen. You know, you can see looking at this, there's no way of stopping it. No human force could stop those trees growing together like that. And also not a clear blue sky, but definitely a, you know, the promise of a blue sky, shall we say. Things get a bit stormy when relationships happen. That's a fact. You can't kind of bring two people together and stir them up and not have something stormy going off. But it's not a problem, really. It's all a part of leading things towards a better time, a happier time. And as we look at this sacral chakra card, which is the second chakra up from the root chakra, it's just slightly coming up the spine a bit from the base chakra. Now, a chakra meditation, if this bothers you in any way, is worth doing. Just visualize your sacral chakra, and it's kind of basically it's where are we? It's that one. That's the chakra. It is second one up. Visualize that. Some people visualize it as a spinning fan, or you can see it as a beautiful red ball, and just visualize it being totally clean and totally clear. And if you notice anything in there that worries you at all, give it to the light, okay? Give it to the angels, and it will be transmuted. And whatever problems you might feel are there, you'll discover sooner or later aren't going to be there, and you will make progress. Lots of green in this card as well, pointing to the heart chakra, so that's worth thinking about as well. But maybe it's not a love relationship, you know? Maybe it's your relationship with life. Maybe it's your relationship with work, and those are kind of quite strained at the moment because so few people can actually go into work. But whatever it is, okay, things are ticking along, and all this love here is growing out of the earth, growing out of nature. You know, it's human nature to want to relate to things, to want to relate to each other where people are concerned. Well, friends, thank you very much. I'm going to make my journey into town with a mask on in a minute because I'm actually allowed to go shopping today for once. So I'm going to leave this to upload, and hopefully when I get back it will be live and I will be around to answer any questions you might have. Thumbs up please if you've enjoyed this one. Do please hit the subscribe button. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's a very slow journey at the moment actually, but yeah, hit that subscribe button if you can. Leave me a comment, we'll share the journey, get typing, and follow me on the social media links, okay? Then we can get to know each other a bit better, which is always good. Meanwhile, have a fantastic time ahead, have a fantastic weekend. We're coming up to, it's Thursday now as I'm posting this, so we're coming into that weekend energy, and I will be back with more readings very, very soon. So thanks again for watching, friends. Take care of yourselves. Love, light, and peace.